Senator Choi, Sijak Ha Seo.
안녕하세요. Thank you, Mr. President and all the members. Happy New Year. Somehow, President skipped my birthday. My birthday is officially on my driver license of January 15th. So, add that to the official record. I rise today with the great pride to introduce a resolution SCR 106 that recognizes a remarkable milestone in American history, the 123rd anniversary of Korean American immigration to the United States, which began in 1903 with the arrival of Korean immigrants seeking opportunity and freedom on these shores. Their arrival date was January 13th, and the U.S. Congress declared the January 13th the Korean American Day nationally in 2025, 21 years ago. That's the reason we are celebrating each year January 13th. Today it happens to be 12th. So tomorrow is official Korean American Day. The Korean American community has grown into one of the most dynamic and contributing groups in our nation. Today, there are over 2.2 million Korean Americans living in the United States, making Korean Americans the fifth largest Asian origin group in the country. Here in California, we are home to the largest share of the vibrant community. Nearly 575,000 Korean Americans reside in our state, representing about 1 in 4 Korean Americans nationwide. Their presence enriches the social and the cultural fabric of our cities and the towns, from Los Angeles, Orange County, to the San Francisco Bay Area and beyond. Korean Americans have built thriving small businesses that anchor local economies, including restaurants, tech startups, and service enterprises that employ our neighbors and boost economic growth. Their contributions to the public service, science, medicine, education, and the arts reflect the best California's spirit of innovation. Some of you may remember that the first Korean American elected to the California state legislature was Honorable Alfred Ho Yun Song, which he was first elected to the California State Assembly in 1962 and later elected to the California State Senate in 1966, serving here continuously until late 1978. His historic legislative career spanned 16 years in Sacramento, breaking barriers for Korean Americans and Asian Americans in California public service. That makes me the third senator and the fourth California state legislator of the Korean descent. Culturally, the K-wave, K-pop and the Korean cinema to cuisines and the literature that that the Korean literature Nobel Prize was won by Korean lady has captivated the audiences across the world, sharing global tastes and enriching American culture. BTS, Paradise, Squid Game, some people call it the 오징어 game, Korean barbecue, kimchi, and taekwondo are now woven to the American cultural landscape. This is a testament to the cultural exchange that began decades ago and continues to flourish. On this anniversary, we honor not just the history, but the ongoing contributions of Korean Americans to the state of California and the United States of America. I respectfully ask for your support of this resolution, recognizing the achievements of Korean Americans and reaffirming California's commitment to diversity, opportunity, and unity. Thank you for your support.
Senator Strickland, you are recognized.
Happy New Year, members. It's an honor to rise in support of this resolution 106. Today we recognize Korean American Day, which commemorates the arrival of the first Korean immigrants to the United States back in 1903. Like so many of our immigrants, they came in search for opportunity, and through hard work and perseverance, they helped build strong families, businesses in all of our communities. Korean Americans have made a significant contribution to our country, our state, and in my district, Senate District 36, wide population in the cities such as Buena Park, Cerritos, La Palma, and Stanton. They're entrepreneurs, educators, healthcare professionals, and public servants. Their commitment to service and civic engagement continues to strengthen our economy and enrich our cultural fabric here in the United States. I'm proud to serve as a co-author of SCR 106, which formally recognizes tomorrow, January 13th, as Korean American Day and honors the important role of Korean Americans play through our shared history. Today, we celebrate their contributions and reaffirm the commitment to inclusion, opportunity, and respect for all. In a point of personal privilege, I do want to point out two specific Korean Americans who really made a difference here in California. One is Michelle Park Steele. She was a member of the Board of Equalization, on the Board of Supervisors in Orange County, a member of Congress, and actually, if it wasn't for Michelle Park Steele, I might not be here, because when I first thought to run for the legislature, her and her husband were one of the first people I talked to, and they encouraged me to move forward. And they were always someone who has been my mentors throughout my political career, and I want to make that point. And then also, I want to say Dr. Choi is a very, very special friend. He's a special guy. And again, members, let's give Dr. Choi a round of applause for his birthday and this special resolution. Thank you so much.
Senator Perez, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise on behalf of the vibrant and strong Korean American community in my district in support of this resolution by the senator. The March 1st movement symbolizes the strength and resiliency of the Korean people as it marks the start of the movement towards independence for the country of Korea. While this moment carries such historical significance to also acknowledge the contributions of the rich cultural and economic tapestry of our state by Korean Americans, this year's celebrations carries additional importance for me, for who, despite the devastation of the wildfires to their lives and livelihoods, Korean Californians in Senate District 25 are helping restore and heal our community. In my district, the Korean community is a pillar made up of active community leaders and organizations, local businesses, whom are known for building bridges with other multicultural communities and empowering individuals' cultural intelligence by facilitating cultural events and engaging with diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives in educational and community settings. Examples of these efforts as it relates to the recent wildfires include efforts by Ki-Son Lee and Jeong Lee Yu, whom lost their home in the Altadena fires. Their family owns the Fair Oaks Burger in Altadena, one of the few businesses that is left standing. In their own capacity, they have donated the space of their restaurant and parking lots as a donation and resource center for the residents of Altadena. In addition to their parents, their two daughters, Janet and Christy Lee, are leading efforts to serve residents free food with the help of the World Cultural Kitchen. I want to acknowledge the efforts of these tremendous community leaders despite these trying times for their own families, among so many others who are putting the needs of the community first. I stand in support of this resolution to celebrate the rich history of the Korean Californian community and thank my constituents for all that they are doing to help rebuild our community back. Thank you.
Senator Archuleta, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise in support of SCR 106, and I'd like to point out one of the Korean Americans that I appointed as my Woman of the Year, Patty Noon. Can you imagine this young lady and her family arrived in America when she was just an infant and actually stayed at a small restaurant in the back room with her family because they had nowhere to go. And that young child, as she was growing up, her father realized that the best way to show that he can participate in the American dream is join the United States Army. So he served with honor and distinction, received his honorable discharge, was able to go on to school, and his children have now grown. And Patty Noon now owns 14 McDonald's, 14 of them. And it was from nothing. And one of her sons is in medical school, the other one's in law school, and they're definitely participating in the American dream. So that's an example that is there for all of us to achieve, and thank that we have a community in my district, Korean Americans, that are contributing every single day to our way of life. God bless them all. Thank you.
Senator Richardson, you're recognized.
Good afternoon, everyone. I rise in support today in honor of the Korean American Day, in support of SCR 106, but also in support of the gentleman from Irvine. I learned in my first week or so I'm not supposed to say the names, so I'm just going to gently acknowledge you there, sir. I do want to also make a point that to the gentleman from Irvine, certainly you have brought not only the acknowledgement of the days and the important moments, but in the way that you carry yourself and making sure that we are really aware of all diversity here in the state of California. So I concur with the other gentleman from Orange County of applauding all of your efforts. In particular, I wanted to rise in support with you in SCR 106 because I have a special iconic place in my district. It's called the Korean Friendship Bell. It was given as a gift to Americans here, really to symbolize. It was brought in 1976 to commemorate the U.S. bicentennial, to honor valiant veterans of the Korean War, which my uncle was one of them, and to celebrate the enduring bond of friendship between our nations. I have the privilege when I drive home to see buses coming and people lined up. People come from all over the world to see the Korean Friendship Bell in the city of Los Angeles, also known as San Pedro. At that particular site, the bell itself, it's only rung twice in a year. And it really is a special moment for people to come and understand the culture, how important it is, and how the Korean Americans here in California live and thrive. This is a remarkable gift. It symbolizes the Korean people's enduring spirit and their commitment to peace. The Korean community has had a positive impact. It was already mentioned today, some of the food that many of us enjoy. Also, the gentleman from Irvine mentioned that K-pop won last night in the Golden Globe Awards, and I think it speaks to more of inclusiveness and understanding culture. But with all of that, today I want to express my greatest gratitude to the Korean American community on this special day. Not only for this day, but really the value that's brought of the businesses in many of our communities where there would be no businesses, that the community has come to work alongside all of those communities to represent and to serve. So congratulations and the acknowledgement of this day.
Senator Smallwood-Cuevas, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I want to join my colleagues in rising in strong support of SCR 106, recognizing Korean American Day, and I thank the author for bringing this forward. We are honoring the history, the resilience, and the contributions of Korean Americans in California, the art, the food, the music, the health, and the wellness. I have on the northern edge of my district, the southern edge of Koreatown, many constituents, and I want to give a special recognition for the film industry and the stories that are being told by that community that reflect diversity and allows us to understand the great contributions of this important group of Californians. I'm proud to represent one of the most diverse districts here in California, the 28th, and it includes the vibrant Koreatown community, as I mentioned. That is one of the most dynamic Korean American communities in the nation. I also want to mention the number of businesses, as my colleagues have talked about, but also the number of advocacy organizations that represent in Koreatown who help to really stand for solidarity, bridging communities, bringing them together, particularly after the 1992 uprising. It was the Korean business owners, groups like the Korean Immigrant Workers Alliance, that helped to build bridges between communities, recognizing peace, but more importantly, that our communities are stronger together. In my district, Korean American families, institutions, and businesses help to anchor this vibrant, diverse communities where many cultures coexist, thrive, and support one another while playing a vital role in shaping California, particularly through civic engagement and human rights. I want to recognize the work of so many of our Korean faith leaders who have been part of discussions about the protection of civil rights and human rights, particularly in this moment, and ensuring that our Korean immigrant families are protected and safe from harm, danger, and authoritarianism. Recognizing Korean American Day is an opportunity to celebrate that rich history, to celebrate the history that is still being made, while reaffirming our commitment to inclusion, dignity, and the belonging of immigrant communities across our state. I thank the author again, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Senator Durazo, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to thank my colleague, Senator Choi, for bringing forward this recognition of the Korean American Day. As a proud representative of Koreatown in Los Angeles, a neighborhood more than 100 years old and home to over 40,000 Korean Americans, I rise to celebrate the 123 years of their contributions to our state and nation. In 1903, 102 courageous Korean immigrants arrived on the shores of Hawaii, beginning a journey that would transform all of California. They faced tremendous obstacles, language barriers, economic hardship, and discrimination. For 40 years, Korean immigration was banned or severely limited, but they persevered, and Koreatown stands as a testament to their resilience. In my district, I'm honored to work alongside many outstanding organizations. The LA Korean Festival, now in its 53rd year, the Care Clinic that has provided culturally sensitive health care to underserved communities for 40 years. The Koreatown Youth and Community Center has served families for more than 50 years. KIWA, the Korean Immigrant Workers Alliance, fighting for workers' dignity and fair wages. And youth groups like Help on the Go remind us that the next generation is committed to building bridges across our community, and leaders like Julia Jung, who helped form this group. I feel a deep connection to those first immigrants. Like them, many were laborers, farmers, and workers pursuing the American dream. It's been my life's mission to fight for working families like them. From K-pop to Korean barbecue, groundbreaking entrepreneurs to dedicated public servants, the Korean American community enriches every aspect of California life. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Senator Alvarado Gil, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today I rise on behalf of the Hispanic Legislative Caucus as we acknowledge and honor the contributions of Korean immigrants and Korean Americans to the Central Valley's California region, shaped by hard work, resilience, and community. Korean immigrants began arriving in California in the early 20th century, often taking on difficult agricultural labor under challenging conditions. And with limited resources and facing discrimination, they worked in fields and orchards and vineyards, helping sustain the valley's agricultural economy during its most demanding years. After the Immigration Act of 1965, a new generation of Korean immigrants made the Central Valley their home. They built lives in cities like Fresno and Stockton, Modesto, Bakersfield, and here in Sacramento. Many opened small businesses and entered farming and food distribution. They worked in healthcare, education, and local services, strengthening both the economy and the social fabric of the region. At the heart of these communities was the Korean churches and family networks. These institutions offered very much more than just worship. They provided cultural education, language, mutual support, and a sense of belonging, especially in places where Korean populations were small and widely dispersed. Today, we honor Korean Americans with Korean American Day here on the floor, and we know that their story reflects the broader story of the Central Valley itself. People from around the world contributing their labor, traditions, and gifts to a shared future. We recognize Korean immigrants not only for what they built, but for their values that they brought, their perseverance, their community, and the commitment to the next generation. I rise in support. Thank you to the author of this resolution.
Senator Arreguín, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I join my colleagues in support of Senate Concurrent Resolution 106. I want to thank the senator from Irvine for bringing this important resolution forward to recognize the immense contributions of Korean Americans in finance, tech, law, medicine, education, media, arts, and culture. Talked about the cultural contributions of Korean Americans in our discussion today, and government, including the great senator from Irvine. Since 1903, when the first Koreans arrived on California shores, they have added to the rich diversity of our state and provided immense contributions. And I want to talk about the ties between Korea and California, not just in terms of our exchanges between our respective governments, but the economic and cultural exchanges, which really add value not just to Korea, but also to the state of California. And one example of those ties is the sister city partnerships that many cities in California have with the Republic of Korea, including the city of Berkeley, which I served as mayor for 8 years. And during my mayorship, we formed a sister city partnership with the city of Gwangju in central Korea. And I was very honored to visit Gwangju in 2022 to formalize that partnership and to look at how we can better strengthen the ties between our respective countries, and which I think is so important now more than ever in this time of great unrest and challenges in our international relations between our country and many foreign governments as well. And I want to just also acknowledge the significant presence of Koreans in Oakland, another city that I represent, which is centered around the Koreatown and Northgate district, which is home to Korean markets, diverse restaurants, and a vibrant growing hub of our Korean American community in the East Bay. So today we honor the rich contributions of Korean Americans here in California and throughout our country. And with that, I respectfully ask for an aye vote on the resolution.
Senator Ochoa Bogue, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the important role that Korean Americans have played in the Inland Empire. Many people don't know that Riverside was home to the very first Koreatown in the United States. Known as Pachapa Camp, the settlement was founded by Korean immigrant Dosan An Chung-ho in 1905. Dosan and his wife Lee moved from San Francisco to Riverside because it was a city rich in citrus gold and offered better job opportunities. Later, Dosan founded, founded the Korean Labor Bureau to help the Korean community find work. During the citrus harvest, the camp's population could be as high as 300 people. However, after the Great Freeze of 1913, the number of residents began dwindling. While some cities, such as Redlands in my district, became home to families from the main settlement, most of the camp's residents left the Inland Empire to find work elsewhere. In the 1950s, the area was redeveloped and Pachapa Avenue was renamed Commerce Street. In 2001, the statue was built in downtown Riverside to recognize Dosan. In 2016, the City of Riverside declared Camp Pachapa a point of cultural interest and installed a sign to commemorate the camp's significance. Camp Pachapa wasn't just the first Koreatown in America, it was the center of community for Korean Americans and a model for the Korean independence movement. I am proud of the contributions made by the Riverside County's Korean Americans, and I ask you to join me in voting aye for SCR 106.
Senator Rubio, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate. I also stand in strong support of SCR 106. Today, we come together to honor and recognize an enduring legacy and rich culture of these wonderful individuals, Korean Americans in our great state, a community that has helped shape our social fabric and, of course, push forward our economic vitality. SCR 106 commemorates Korean American Day, marking the arrival of the first Korean immigrants to the United States over a century ago, and celebrates their tireless pursuit of the American dream. Their journey is filled with courage, sacrifice, and profoundly has enriched what we are today here as a state. My district, the San Gabriel Valley, is home to a thriving Korean American community with restaurants, theater, music. I invite all of you to come. It is an absolute joy to see everyone live with one another and really honor the diversity that we have in this great state. Again, my district is home to one of the largest Korean Americans in this state. And I also want to just thank all the restaurants and all the businesses that have really, pushed our economic vitality forward, and I want them to know that we appreciate them, we honor them, as we honor all immigrants in this great state. The San Gabriel Valley stands with this community, and it is a testament to what happens when diverse communities flourish together in unity, celebrating one another and working together for the greater good. Their presence and their leadership is extraordinary, and I also want to commemorate and thank their workforce that help with all of our needs in our communities. I am proud to stand with my colleagues to honor the contributions of Korean Americans, past, present, and future, and to reaffirm our shared commitment to equity, inclusion, and the opportunity for all immigrants in this great nation to work together, to celebrate one another, and to honor, once again, the reason why we're a great state and a great country. Thank you.
Senator Valadares, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I, too, rise in strong support of SCR 106. Korean American Day is a reminder of California's story, an America story. It's built by families who took a leap of faith, who worked hard, and never stopped giving back. I do want to thank my colleague, the senator from Irvine, for bringing this resolution forward and for ensuring that we take a moment to recognize that legacy. He, too, is a proud Korean American, a veteran, and someone whose love of country is reflected not simply in words, but in his service. And I think we all thank him for that. Korean American Day commemorates the first Korean immigrants who arrived in the United States in 1903, searching for opportunity, searching for freedom, values that still define us as a country today. And that story seems familiar in my district. Families who start with little, who open small businesses, serve in uniform, raise their children to work hard and to give back to their communities. In Santa Clarita and the High Desert, Korean American families are employers, they're educators, healthcare professionals, and community leaders who strengthen our local economy and enrich all of our lives daily. Their commitment to family and faith and education and service reflects the very best of the American promise. And on a personal note, as a mom of an 8-year-old, I'd also like to thank the Korean culture for K-pop and K-pop Demon Hunters. If you know, you know. Today, we honor those contributors and say thank you for the lasting impact Korean Americans have made in California and all over our nation. I
I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Senator Umberg, you are recognized.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. And to our Korean friends who are here with us today, 안녕하세요. And to our friend from Irvine, 감사합니다. And now that I've exhausted my Korean vocabulary, let me turn to the two Koreatowns that exist in my district, the two best Koreatowns in all of California. Thank you to my friend from Los Angeles who has a perfectly acceptable Koreatown. We are blessed, we are particularly blessed in Orange County to have a very large Korean American population. We're blessed economically, we're blessed culturally, we're blessed in terms of our cuisine. We are blessed many, many times over. We have a great debt that we owe as Americans to our partners, our friends in Korea. Koreans fought in Vietnam with us at a level that was unprecedented. 5,099 Koreans were killed in Vietnam and over 10,000 wounded. That debt that we incurred is continuing. As we speak, right now, as we speak, there's a demilitarized zone in Korea. Our friend from Irvine, Senator from Irvine, served on that demilitarized zone. And it is one of the most dangerous places on earth. And it's in our interest to make sure that that peninsula stays stable. And it's our partners and friends in Korea that are making it so. And there are so many Korean veterans here in the United States, so many Korean veterans, and we are enriched by their passion, by their patriotism to our country. And so it is perfectly appropriate that we recognize Korea, Korean Americans. In my family, it's very important because, but for Korea, my 3 children and 8 grandchildren would not exist. I'll be happy to explain that later on. So let me close by urging an aye vote and once again saying 감사합니다 to our colleague from Irvine.
I did not know we had a competition among Korean towns, but we'll save that for another time. Senator Wiener, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise in support of SCR 106, and I want to thank the senator from Orange County for his leadership supporting the Korean American community. The Korean American experience reminds me of my own family's experience and immigration story, coming to this country to pursue opportunity and stability and a good life. As some of the largest Korean communities have made California their home, this resolution is important to celebrate that experience and embracing a new home while preserving traditions and cultural roots. As recognized, Korean Americans have been a driving force of the growing influence and power of Korean culture throughout the planet, and that is incredibly powerful, and it's a beautiful thing. In recent years, Korean culture and exports have become essential to the lives of many Californians. I'm also proud as a representative of San Francisco, as my district's role is among the first hubs of Korean migration to California. Even though other parts of the state have now probably surpassed us in size, we are small but mighty. I'm honored to celebrate the Korean American community, and I urge an aye vote.
Senator Reyes, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. To my colleague from Irvine, who I followed here from the Assembly, where he taught us so much about the Korean culture, I say thank you. As we celebrate Korean American Day, I will share the words of my sister-in-law, 안녕하세요, who made sure that I learned at least a little bit, right? I want to echo the thoughts of so many of my colleagues about the rich history, the culture, the food, the hard work, the value, and like so many other immigrants, the pursuit of the American dream. Rather than repeat what so many of my colleagues have said, I do want to take a personal point of privilege. In 1903, our first Korean Americans arrived, and I think the greatest gift they gave to our family were April, my niece, and Steven, my nephew. And with that, I respectfully ask for an aye vote on SCR 106.
Senator Wahab, you are recognized.
Thank you. I rise today as Vice Chair of the AAPI Legislative Caucus in strong support of SCR 106, which recognizes Korean American Day. Today we honor Korean American Day, making January 13th, 1903, when the first Korean immigrants arrived in the United States with courage, hope, and determination, the American dream in its heart and soul. Korean Americans have helped build our nation as small business owners, healthcare workers, educators, innovators, and public servants. In fact, one of my first full-time jobs was at a business where Korean Americans owned that particular business in the environment. California is proud to be home to the largest Korean American population in the country. And we also, for today, I want to be very clear, we recommit to standing against hate and discrimination and to ensuring every community is seen, protected, and valued. Korean American history is American history. And today we celebrate resilience, culture, and the generation shaping our future. We honor the past and all of their commitments. We celebrate the present and the communities that surround us and uplift the future of the Korean American community. So I want to thank my colleague for bringing this forward, and I will say, just working with him, he has highlighted the importance of the Korean American identity, culture, community, and food. In particular, I'm a big fan of the short ribs, and so I want to thank him personally for bringing this forward and just, again, highlighting the AAPI community. Thank you.
You made me hungry. Senator Weber Pearson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, as chair of the California Legislative Black Caucus, I rise today in support of SCR 106, recognizing January 13th as Korean American Day, a day that honors the arrival of the first Korean immigrants to the United States in 1902 and celebrates more than a century of resilience, contribution, and community. Korean American Day is not only about honoring history, but also about recognizing how immigrant communities shape the social, cultural, and economic fabric of our nation and our state. From small business owners and educators to healthcare workers, artists, and public servants, Korean Americans have played a vital role in strengthening our communities and building opportunities for future generations. I also want to acknowledge the important connections between Korean Americans and Black American communities. Our histories in this country are different, but they are connected by shared struggles against discrimination, exclusion, and violence, and shared by a commitment to dignity, justice, and opportunity. Both communities know what it means to fight for civil rights, to confront systemic barriers, and to organize for change. Many Korean Americans, including those who served along Black soldiers, have defended this nation in uniform. Both communities understand the cost of freedom and the responsibility to protect it for the next generation. Recognizing Korean American Day reaffirms that our diversity is not a weakness, but a strength. It reminds us the struggle for opportunity, respect, and belonging is not isolated to one community, but is a shared experience between many, and that progress is greatest when we move forward together. Colleagues, I urge your support on SCR 106. Thank you.
And Senator Jones, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. I am thank you for allowing me to have this time to support SCR 106 by our good friend and colleague, Senator Dr. Choi. I stand in strong support of SCR 106, which proclaims January 13th, 2026 as Korean American Day in the state of California. California has long been a gateway for U.S.-Korean relationship, serving as a hub for Korean American communities and for military and economic cooperation across the Pacific. For more than a century, Korean Americans have helped build California's communities and have contributed to our economy and civic life. Their commitment to the United States is reflected in military service, as has been mentioned, including World War II, the Korean War, and the generations that followed. The Korean War, in particular, forged a lasting bond between the United States and the Republic of Korea through shared sacrifice and defense of freedom. In fact, on a personal note, an uncle that I had the opportunity to live with when I was in high school was a Marine serving in Korea during the Korean War. And as a result of that experience, I had the unique privilege of being able to hear from him about his experiences in Korea, the bravery of the Korean people, the concern over communism taking over that entire area, and the defense that the Koreans stood up to hold that back. The bond endures today as a strong alliance and economic partnership grounded in shared democratic values and mutual security interests. It is also reflected in the close economic, cultural, and personal ties that continue to benefit California and the entire nation and the globe by extension. For those reasons, I'm proud to support SCR 106 and respectfully ask for all of us to vote aye. Thank you very much.
And seeing no other mics up, Senator Choi, with apologies for not recognizing your birthday earlier, it is 3 days from now. Happy birthday to you, and you may close.
Thank you, President. I'm overwhelmed by your overwhelming support. Almost made me cry. I didn't expect that many people have some connection and the relationship and the spirit to support my effort to highlight Korean American Day, how we have arrived here today. I really sincerely thank you for that. I'm going to invite you to our reception after the session at the 7th floor public area. Korean rice duck we're going to serve. Come have a sticky duck. You can try. And today we have a number of Korean Americans have joined from Sacramento area and the San Francisco East Bay area, some on the gallery and some on the floor. And I would like to have a chance to take a picture with the Consul General of Korea in San Francisco later on. In the meantime, let me introduce some limited number of VIPs who have made their trip this far to the floor. And if I can have Consul General
Senator Choi, if you could, let's take the vote on the resolution.
Oh, I see.
And we'll address that approval first. I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to pass.
Okay.
And then we'll move on to the introductions.
Yeah, with that, I would appreciate your support on the bill, SCR 106. Thank you.
Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Alvarado Gil. Aye. Archuleta. Aye. Adeguin. Aye. Ashby. Aye. Becker. Aye. Blakespear. Aye. Cabaldon. Aye. Caballero. Aye. Cervantes. Aye. Choi. Aye. Cortese. Aye. Daly. Aye. Durazo. Aye. Gonzalez. Grayson. Aye. Grove. Hurtado. Aye. Jones. Aye. Laird. Aye. Limon. Aye. McGuire. Aye. McNerney. Aye. Menjivar. Aye. Nilo. Aye. Ochoa Bog. Aye. Padilla. Aye. Perez. Aye. Reyes. Aye. Richardson. Aye. Rubio. Aye. Sigarto. Aye. Smallwood Cuevas. Aye. Stern. Aye. Strickland. Aye. Umberg. Aye. Valadares. Aye. Wahab. Aye. Weber Pearson. Aye. Wiener. Aye.
Call the absent members once.
Gonzalez. Grove.
38-0, the measure passes. A bit of a squeaker, but it passes. Senator Choi, under privileges of the floor, you have some introductions, I think.
Thank you for your vote and passing SCR 106. With that, let me continue introduction of Korean American guests today. Everybody is a VIP to me, but because of the limited space on the floor, I invited only 6 on the floor, and then we'll recognize the people on the gallery. First of all, if I name your name, please. Oh, you are already down here. Now behind me, Honorable Chung-Taek Lim, Consul General of Korea in San Francisco. Raise your hand. And Yoon Sun An, spouse of Consul General. Raise your hand. And Ginny Yi is a chairman of the Korean and then also another National Korean Association. So Jenny Lee and Soon Lim, the chairwoman, could not make it today. So today we have Dr. Jonathan Kim, president of San Francisco Korea Center. Where's your hand? And Mija Oh, is she here? Mija Oh is president of the Korean Reunification Council of Korea, stationed in San Francisco. And then also all the guests on the gallery, would you please rise so we will give you welcome applause. Thank you so much. Welcome. Okay, we're going to have some photo. If you'd like to join us after our first shot, you are welcome to join us.